Alright friends, so today I kind of found myself in a little bit of a pickle, so decided to do a little bit of a remodel. So I'm in my laundry room and got the dryer, the washer. So this has had a torn hose for, it's been a little while. Right where it goes through the floor, the flexible hose, I think from like when the dryer turns on, it expands, then it collapses, expands, collapses. Well, it eventually ripped the dryer hose, because it's just that foil type of dryer hose that went through the floor, goes underneath the house, and goes to an outside vent. So things have gotten real dusty in here, and it's been a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and, instead of keeping the dryer on this wall, which is an interior wall, which is great for plumbing, at the same time, then it only leaves you with a couple options for venting a dryer. You either vent underneath the house, which then gives you all that moisture, and in the winter, especially freezing, can rust any metal underneath the house, because this is a single wide, so things can rust, it can cause problems. That's just a lot of moisture to put under a house. So the better option for me is to go on this exterior wall. Now you can see there's shelving and no power for the dryer. So what I'm gonna do is cut out the shelving, at least these two. I'm gonna measure over 32 inches, cut these off, go get some plywood, put an end cap on these, swing the dryer over here across from the washing machine, and do an exterior vent. And then the dryer doesn't have to vent very far, because I think part of the problem too was that even though I'm only about 8 feet maybe off where the dryer was sitting from the exterior wall, going through a floor, coming back across 8 feet, and all that creates a pressure problem. That's a long distance for the dryer to just get rid of its exhaust. So it's always plugging up. You get back pressure, you don't dry as fast, the dryer runs longer, costs you more money. So we're going to change that. The other thing I have to figure out, and I got an idea, is my dryer electrical plug is right there. Now, if I had more room under the house, it'd be easier. I can see the wires through the hole. It'd be, pull the wiring out, crawl under the house, fish them back up into the wall, and hook the box back up. I'm not going to go through all that trouble. I got a faceplate for that with a knockout. I'm going to pull the faceplate, the plug out, hook a new 12-3 wire from there along the outside of the wall, and mount an exterior mounting box to the outside of my wall, run the wire in, hook the faceplate, and plug back up, and just kind of cheat it. Should be fine. I'll probably keep it a good 6 inches up off the floor, so mice or don't want anything chewing on it. But at the same time, there's very little space underneath this, and I'm just not going to crawl around, especially in the winter. So I'm going to do that. and get that moved, relocated, and get this dryer relocated, and move some shelving around, see what we can do to get this functional. So I'll just be doing some clips of that. And as you can see, the guy before the person I bought this from, the plumbing had frozen this because the house had sat empty. Well, when he replumbed it, he replumbed all the water lines on the inside with the, oh, why can't I think of the name? Oh shoot. Anyway, it's not coming to me right now, but the water lines that are flexible like plastic and you use the crimping ends. So he ran all that on the inside to keep the plumbing from ever freezing again. So I'm going to kind of do the same idea with the electrical. It'll be exposed but simple. So anyway, I'm going to get started on that and I'll show you some tricks as I go. Alright guys, so something I learned a long time ago is if you put a piece of tape down when you make a cut, it can make the cut cleaner. You get less splinters, things that are kicking up when the saw's running. So ran some tape down where I'm going to run my cuts. So now I just got to make my mark and we'll get to cutting. Alright, so I thought the screws were Phillips. Looks like they're actually square drive. So, change our tip. Okay. For some reason, doesn't look like that's fitting. Alright guys, I have to figure out what fits these screws. Alright guys, so it turns out the bit for these screws is a square number 2. So, see what we can do here. Okay, so it's just spinning in the sheetrock, so I'm going to use a pry bar, try and put a little pressure, get that screw to grab and come out. And it's not doing it. Okay, so I'm trying to get something behind it to give it some pressure to pull out. Oh, so they used some finish staples to put it in there and then added the screws. Okay, and just like that, pulls right out of the sheetrock. Corner one is spinning. So that's going to be fun to pull out of the sheetrock. Oh, gotta finish my cut. Okay. All right. So now we have a space for a dryer, so we'll work on our end cap sheet here and getting things lined up for the vent hole and bringing the power around. Get this thing turned around. Okay. So now I need to figure out where to center my vent hole to exhaust the dryer out the house. And gotta go cut a piece of wood to get this end capped and bring the power over. So we're making progress. Alright, so the vent for the back of the dryer is looking about 15 inches from the side. There's the old hole going through the floor where it ripped, and then the power that I gotta move. Alright guys, so I want to apologize for the angles and stuff that I'm dealing with here. I'm just in a small laundry room, a little closet room, and it's making my angles really tough to get the shots that I'm, can show what I'm working on and not cut my head off. But so anyway, apologize for that. So the vent on the back of the dryer, the bottom of it starts at 3.5. And of course there's a stud in the wall pretty close to where center would be. So I am going to offset it just a little bit. But that puts me really close to my 15 for center. 3.5 off the bottom. So now we get to put some holes in the wall. So I gotta switch over a few tools and we'll get that ready. So I've got 16-inch paddle bit on my drill. So I'm going to try and drill from the center of this side, drill through to the other side, take out my pattern, trace it on the other side. Then when I cut it, I'm going to leave a good 1/8 of an inch or cut on the outside of this line on this side and the other side, and then I will push through the wall thimble kit for the dryer vent, and I'll probably have to cut it off, just leaving like a couple inches on this side to hook the flex hose to. And I'm probably also, before I'm done, gonna put a stop, a little 2x2 or something on the floor, so when the dryer is pushed back, it will stop before totally smashing into the pipe. I just want to make sure I leave a couple inches there for the hose to bend a little bit and just not smash anything. So that's the plan. Now if I can keep my drill as close to level and left, right, up and down, all that good stuff. Well, one thing about old single wides, it's easy to get through the wall. Okay. So, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my shop vac, run it while I'm making this cut, try and keep the dust down in this little room. So it's going to be really noisy. We might have to edit out some of that noise, but I'll just be cutting this hole and see what we can do from the other side. Okay guys, so a trick I learned a long time ago, and I gotta go find some, is when you're using this type of metal for piping, even if it's for stovepipe, once you lock it in, I always put a little self-tapping screw through the seam so that it doesn't pop back open, because everything's sharp, can cut. So I'm gonna go find a screw for that and my 10 snips so I can cut this to length, but we're gonna go cut that hole on the other side. So let's go do that. All right guys, so for this exterior hole, since it's just tin aluminum siding, I have two options. I can rip the heck out of it with this, which is doable, but I should have a smaller blade so it turns better. Inside the sheetrock, it just kind of broke it, cut it, got it, shaved it, got it out of the way. Option B, tin snips. So these have a bigger lip than most, and that lets you cut a better circle than just the straight. So I have lefts and rights so that I could go either side with this hole. Problem is, they're in the Jeep. Problem with being in the Jeep, Jeep's in the shop after the rear end blew out, had it towed to the shop, and it's slowly or eventually getting fixed. So we're gonna go this route. Okay, so because the stud is right here, I did shift over just slightly so it'll fit beside the stud. I could draw, like I did for the Sawzall, I drilled some other relief holes for doing it. This, I think I'll just get there with tin snips. Okay, and from that angle, I don't know if you can see too well with that, but I've got a stud right there, which just makes that so much fun. So I'll go get the wall thimble piece, see if I can get it in here. It might oblong a little and get it in there. Either that or we're just going to shave a little bit more away from it. So I'll be right back and we'll see what we're able to do. Alright guys, so these things, you kind of get what you pay for. They are pretty cheap. Plastic, louvers, vents. This aluminum little piece is supposed to snap in. Tell you what, it's been a bugger. Not gonna lie, been a bugger. So, as you can kind of see, it misshapes. Okay, so I've got my length. I'm going with 7 inches from the outside of the wall through to hook up. So I'm going to go ahead, try and get this snapped and held in place. Going to drill the hole. Now I'm going to go back a little bit because I want to still be able to slide on the vent hose and not have it hit the screw. So I'm going to stay a couple inches back, drill a little relief. Okay, so I got a little relief hole, and that's just so I can put my self-tapping screw through here. Okay. Now that, you can see, it's holding together a lot better. Okay, and this end snaps into the plastic. There's grooves, locks in a little bit. I say a little bit. It's not perfect, but it should stay. I'll silicone all this, and same with the beauty ring on the inside. That'll just lock everything in. Should last a long time, I mean, unless someone's really messing with the hose. So now what I got to do is, I know that I don't want to stick this far through the other side. I just want enough to hook my hose onto and still leave room for the dryer to come back. So normally what I do is I try and make that seam last. So I start right here, find my marks, here, try and get more in the camera. Okay, once you cut this, it helps lock it in a little bit better, depending on the metal and all that good stuff. Just finish my cut around here. Okay. So now we're cut to length. Now the other tool I have, just because I used to do some duct work, is I've got a crimping tool, so I can put the female crimp end on this so that my hose will go on better instead of being super tight as the same size. But because I haven't done it for a long time, I'm trying to remember It's got 3 grooves on one side, 2 on the other. So I'm pretty sure the 3 is on the outside, 2 is on the inside. And then that puts the tapered end on there. Just look at it, make sure it's tapering in. I believe it is. So we're going to go with that. Okay. So that put some taper into it, so hopefully I can get the hose over. Of course, these ends here are always a little bit of a bugger. I'll put some tape there so that as I'm trying to slide on, I don't just cut that aluminum hose, the vent hose, because otherwise that's all that's going to do is just keep cutting and ripping as I try and slide it on. So let's get set up for that. Let's see. I think I'll put some tape on this, and I think we better do our test fit. Okay, so the screw, of course. Just do a little notch for our screw to get through. That'd be so easy. Okay. Just a little bit of sheetrock in our way. I better go on the inside and trim it. Alright, so I'll do that. Get some self-tapping metal screws for this side, get a piece of tape for that, and I will be right back. Alright guys, a little bit of electrical tape over these sharp seams here. Let's go ahead, get this in. Okay, well that pattern was tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the screws in, and then later I'll make a little filler piece behind this to clean up those edges. Alright. So that's on from the outside, so let's head inside. And still got power to move, and still got the end cap to put on the shelves. So we'll get on that next. So there, got that vent installed with its beauty ring. So I think what I'm going to do is start mounting the power, running it back to the other old plug box, and then that way I can get the dryer moved over here, get it hooked up, and have it out of my way while I work on the other corner. So that's the plan. So let's see how this goes. Alright guys, so my thought is I'll put the power box, which is just a 4-gang box that I have, and believe I'm just going to put that up about 3 feet so it's just under the back of the dryer, but easy to disconnect if need be, instead of having to pull the whole dryer out just to reach the plug. So 3 feet. I went with a metal box, so I've got knockouts so I can put my wiring in, which is a 10-3 wire. So just punched it with a screwdriver, tab sticking through, grab it with some pliers, get it twisted off. Okay, now I can run my wire through there, put my box here. So let's get the wire open. And we're going to get it straightened out a little bit. Okay, so I've got it fairly straightened out so I can work with it a little bit. Of course, there's no stud. Maybe. I think I better run a backing board to attach this to, because this has a lot of pressure, and so will the dryer cord. So I'm going to get a piece of plywood as a backing board put up here. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got a backing plate cut so I can grab some studs, mount my box more securely. So let's get that put up. Okay, So the box is mounted securely. It's not going anywhere. So that's good. So I think what I need to do is go get the power turned off for the plug of the dryer, steal the plug and stuff from there, bring it over here, put it on this 4-gang box, get this hooked up, get my wire. I think what I'm going to be able to do for now is I think I have some zip ties that have the loopholes on the end so that I can grab my wire and just hold it in at the studs. Then I can get the dryer over here and then switch to hooking up power over here. So I think I need to get a few things switched around. Let's see how that goes. Alright guys, so found the zip ties that have the little loops on the end for doing a screw. So get the zip tie pre-started. Grab a screw. Okay, so now, oh come on, 4 feet? Oh, you gotta love. Seems like there should be something right in there. Well, now we'll go to 4 feet and then see if I can find something in between later. Oh, sorry guys, angles are just fun in a small space. So I'm just going to angle it down and start getting it in behind the washer. Okay. Alright. That just gets it tucked in by the wall. And if I can find, looks like there might be something at 2 feet. Let's drive a couple screws and see. Oh, we did find something at 2 feet. Let's use it. Okay, that was a good tight bite. Alright, and okay, that controls the wire, keeps it tight to the wall, out of the way. So we've got that. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and get these shelves. I think I'll go ahead and get these shelves end capped. I got a piece of plywood cut here, notched the back because we've got that exposed plumbing, notched the front, so that if I need to reach in to do anything to the dryer, I don't have to pull it all the way out. So Just the angles in here are awful. Let's try up here. Where are we at here? It's the door, the shelf, so I'm not aiming down far enough. Sorry guys. What's that do? Okay. That might give us something. Let's see what we got. Okay, I think we can make that work. That way we can still use the shelves. Things won't fall onto the dryer. That's a weird angle. Okay, let's loosen that up a little bit. We'll square that here in a little bit. Get them level. Not a lot of meat. Okay, this next one. Okay, feels solid. Feels good. Alright. So, got our end cap. So I still need to put a stopper down on the floor for the dryer to not go all the way back. And I want to get a better measurement of that. So maybe I'll just put a 2x4 down. Where'd those screws go? Oh, how did I lose them? See if I can reuse. Oh yeah. So I'll just reuse the screws that were holding the shelving into the studs. So I think I'll go get a 2x4 cut at about 28 inches to put back there, so the dryer only goes in so far. And if it doesn't go in far enough to look good, I'll do a little cap over the back, just so that it doesn't look like it's out so far or a gaping hole. But so far guys, it's coming together. So we got end cap, wiring started. So let's put our dryer stop down there, because I just don't want to over squish the hose when the dryer's pushed back. Alright guys, so got my 2x4 as my stopper. I'm going to pre-drill, I guess, 3 holes. so pre-drilled so I don't just split it. Let's get it in place. Hey guys, so that should stop the dryer from going back so far and over crushing the little bit of hose that's going to be here, because when you install the dryer, you're installing it all the way out here, then you got to push it back. So I think I've got that already. Now we just gotta move our power plug, get that in there, get the dryer hose hooked up, and then we can make our connection on the other side. So let's get things moved around a little bit. Alright guys, so using my multimeter here to see, I just want to check, so 122 on that side, 123.3 on that side. So I will go kill the dryer breaker and we will make sure that the power's off. Alright, so I threw the breaker. Okay, 0, 0, all right, we've killed the power, so let's go ahead and get this open. Alright, so top of the plug, like the horseshoe, is the ground. The bottom, that's like an L, is neutral. Left side is red hot. Right side is black hot. So I'm going to jot that down. And we will get that disconnected. Let's see, black hot, red hot, ground, neutral. Alright, get that marked. Let's get this disconnected. Okay, so there we go. So I will go get some wire connectors. And we'll get ready to bring our wire around. Actually, so before I do that, let's get the other side hooked up. That way I know I have no chance of power while I'm messing with that side. Alright guys, so gotta get the wires stripped. Okay, and get them put back on. Okay, so should have drew my thing on a piece of cardboard. Okay, so the top horseshoe one was ground and the L was neutral. Okay, ground. This is always the fun part. Trying to get things to go together. Alright. So we've got the L neutral, horseshoe ground. Left side was red. Okay. Right side. It's black. Make sure everything's tight. Okay. So, even though I took a picture of the receptacle and the cover of the old mounting box, I still got the wrong box. And since it's here, it's already mounted, I gotta go get some longer screws that go through the faceplate, the plug, and then they'll grab the 2-gang box here. So I gotta go look to see if I have some longer machine screws, and then we're pretty much golden. So I'll be right back. It does turn out that I had the wrong box for the old faceplate, but the plug itself will mount to this box, but the cover will not. So I am going to get this tucked in here. So that I can get it mounted. Okay, somehow I missed. All right, so tight quarters. All right, so you can see it is mounted, but it does leave a little gap. Nothing's really exposed, it's all protected behind there. This will be behind the dryer, but I will get the proper faceplate for this later. But for today, I just need to get the dryer back here and get it running. So with that installed, I think I'm to the point I can slide the dryer, start getting the hose connected, get this tucked in, and then get to the other side and get this wrapped up. So I'll just go ahead and put you guys there. Get down there to the hose. We got some new hose. Now this came with these little spring type clips. I'll try that. I have not had the best of luck with these. I also have some zip ties. I have electrical tape. So I may do a couple things on that side. On the dryer side, I do have a nice clamp. So I think I'll put the nice clamp on the dryer side and kind of get this side as snug and tight as I possibly can. Okay, that feels like it's on there. I'm going to run some tape. Well, if I have enough room to go underneath it. I am. Oh yeah, I can get under there. Okay. Just want to get things as tight as I can. Alright guys, I think I've got that about as tight as I can get it. I think it'll work. So let's get a new angle here. What we're going to do is go up here. Sorry for all this messing around, focusing, guys. It's tight spaces, just gets old. At the end of the day, starting to get hungry. And I really need this dryer over here. Let's see. This is always the hard part. So I now got to get this dryer in front of this washer, get that connected to the back, and somehow I still have to get back over to where I'm standing once I've done that. So I'm hoping, this is the fun part, I am hoping I can slide the dryer over here. This notch that I left in the corner of this plywood, I'm hoping I can kind of lay in there, cut this, get it onto the dryer, get it clamped, and slide the dryer back. That sounds like a lot of hoping. Let's see how comical this ends up being. this out of the way. Okay, this might just go a little better now. So I gotta be able to cut the wire. I'm sorry guys, I really want to get you a better view. I might have to put you down here. I'm hoping that view is gonna give you something to see, guys. We'll find out. Hose clamp. Stubby, screwdriver, cutters, let's see what we can do here. Alright guys, hopefully you're able to see from that angle, but this right here, this corner that I cut out was so that I could lay here and get that on and get the clamp on. And the hard part is then getting this pushed back, getting that to squish all up as straight as I can so I don't get a pinch and it can breathe to vent. So let's see how it works. Come on. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Wow, that is dark. Let me see if I have a flashlight. So you can see it does bunch up. Oh, I better get my dryer hooked up. So it does have a little S curve to it. So let's get the plug in. Boy, sorry about the lighting, guys. Okay, got the plug in. We've got the hose there. I think that's about where the dryer's gonna fit. So, it does stick out just a little bit. I think what I'll end up doing is putting a little shelf cap across the top. Alright, so we've got that. So now I can work on getting the power wrapped up. Alright guys, so we're nearing the end. It has been a full day. There's luckily only one trip to town to get the wire, the electrical box, the wall thimble, the vent hose, get all that. So now what I have left, I gotta wrap the orange wire, finish mounting it to the wall, wrapping it around back here, getting it down here to the wires and connected, and getting that capped. So I did I'm gonna cut that down a little bit, maybe. Okay. Get this. Cut down my boards a little thicker than what's here. Get that all cut. Awesome. Get a couple screws. Oh, come on, where's my screw gun? There it is. Oh. At the end of the day, getting tired is no fun. Alright. Get this hole covered. Alright, no mice or pack rats coming in through there. Let's get this mounted. Okay, I'm going to try and get this mounted to the corner so we can get safely around the washing machine. One more safely over to here. Let's see. Oh, that's a piece of pipe. Oh, let's see here. Oh, it's so hard to find studs. I think something right in there. Let me put a screw in. sure think I'm feeling one there. Well, I don't know. Might just have to mount it there. Okay. Some wire. Alright, try and back you guys up a little bit. So I'm just trying to get this knockout to knock out. Okay, so the idea that the wire is going to go into this box to get connected. Alright, I'm going to get a fresh cut on these. Okay, and I've got wire connectors here. These are the tan ones. These are supposed to be in between like a yellow and a red so that it's more universal. I don't have the red ones, so I'm hoping these are going to work. I would have preferred to have the larger size, but I do think they'll work. Okay, and for good measure, we're going to tape them. I don't know why I just taped the neutral, but you know what? I guess, like I said, good measure, because I shouldn't have to tape the neutral. At least that'll keep the wire nut from backing off. So maybe I'll just do them all that way. Just keep everything nice and tight. Okay, let's... Okay. Oh, come on, more wire. Sorry guys, my back's getting sore and struggling a little bit here. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not gonna mess up any wires. Finally. Alright. Alright guys. Whoa. Oh, sorry, my knees and back are killing me. So, we've got our wire connected, tucked in, and all the way back to the back of the dryer. So, I'm gonna go turn power on, and we will do a test of the dryer real quick. Alright, get the washer pushed back where it belongs. Okay. And got it. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe and share with a friend. And sorry for the tight quarters and all the angles, but if you stuck it to this far, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.